Hi, welcome to One for the Road, where we navigate sobriety, recovery, and life in general. Tune in as we share our experience and opinions while answering any questions you may have. My name's Marissa, and this is my co-host, Judy. You look really tan right now, just so you know. I know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, subscribe, notify, like whatever. You know what the fuck to do. Just do all that shit. Please. We've been hovering at like so many subscribers for a while. Come on, people. Okay. So
Love it.
sorry, so aggressive.
Love it. I just love it.
Right now.
Can somebody do it?
Just do it. Okay, so want to talk today about hitting a wall in recovery, feeling stuck, feeling stagnant, hitting a wall. You know, my old, what that is, what does that look like? Spiel.
Yep.
And passing the buck off to you so that you can start, and then I can just listen and
chime in.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, for sure I have. And you know, and not just like a one-time deal. You know, things can be going along swimmingly, right? Like I'm doing all of the things that recovery, quote unquote, requires of me. And sometimes it feels like going through the motions. And sometimes I question, why am I doing this again? What? You know, like, how can this be all there is? You know, like, you know, and then I'm ever so gently reminded, whether it's from somebody who's doing this thing with me, you know, on this road of recovery, or, you know, or just, you know, a silent nudge, is because then I'm reminded as to why I do it, right? Because I know what it looked like before, you know, and even my hitting a wall and going through the motions or whatever that looks like, is way better than what it looked like before. And, you know, hitting a wall for me is what it looked like, is like when I don't want to do the things, when I can, when sitting and reading a book or eating a bag of chips looks better than making any phone calls and reaching out, or just even sleeping in, whatever, you know what I mean? Even getting on this podcast, like, who wants to curl their hair and put on makeup? You know, this helps my recovery as well, you know? And so doing any of those things that my recovery, again, I say requires, because that's what it feels like, especially when I'm up against the wall. It feels like a requirement. And God knows that I have that part of me still, you know, that's like, if you tell me to do something, I am going to do the complete opposite, you know, that rebellious nature. And so, you know, trying to get a little humble and remembering where I came from, and that even if it doesn't look spectacular in recovery, that it looks comparably, right? It looks spectacular compared to what it used to look like. So that's what I got to jump off this cliff.
Yeah.
So
no, I like
back
it.
to you.
So I always feel like I'm hitting a wall when like things are good and everything is, because I'm a chaos junkie, right? Like I live in the drama and the chaos, and that's how I lived in like my using whatever, you know. And I always feel like I've hit a wall when things are just okay. There's nothing crazy is going on, right? No one's mad at me, no one this, and I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. There's nothing more to learn, and you know, I learn the same things over and over and over and over and over again in recovery, right? I apply the same set of tools just to different situations. And so sometimes I'm like, yeah, I know, fucking call somebody. Yeah, I know, pray about it. Yeah, I know, do all this shit. And I can get real like
sassy.
Well, there's nothing new, right? There's nothing fucking new, you know, whatever. Which I am always gently, not so gently reminded, right? Because I'll fucking act an ass, and then someone will be like, you might want to look at that, you know. Right. And I am always like, I'm kind of like that, right? Like I'm the person that's addicted to like self-help books and shit like that too, because I have this idea of like perfection in my head that I want to be, you know. And so when I don't have any real pressing matters in the forefront, like I'm like, oh, I've hit a wall. No, that's just called contentment. Like you're just content.
Right.
You're
Serenity.
content.
Yeah.
Give yourself a couple days, give yourself a couple hours. Something will pop up that you need to like work on, because we are ever evolving people. And the more you have in your life, job, significant other, friends, family. I know kids, don't have them, but I know that's another element. Like you're ever evolving, which means there should be no wall hitting, right? There shouldn't be, right? But I think you nailed it on the head when you said just like that defiant nature. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, I know it. And not in a cocky way of like, I know everything, but there is only so many tools, right?
Right.
And when you've been exposed to them, you're like, I know. Because when I first got into recovery, everything was new and I was fighting and I was like trying to practice all these things and this is it. So but now that I've been here for some time and life has settled down and, like I know how to manage things and I'm consistent and all that. Hell yeah, it feels like hitting a wall,
Right.
but I just enjoy it, right? Hitting a wall, I got to enjoy that shit because I know damn well that it's only going to be a matter of time before something good or bad pops up and I don't know what to do, right? Like it doesn't always have to be bad, which forces me to like grow and change. Buying a house, don't know what the fuck that's about. So here I am for the past month, like having to implement new tools, right? There's a lot of fear that comes with it because I've never done it before and this and that. And then, so I was just skating on by. Everything was good, hitting my wall. And then all of a sudden it was like, here's something new to look at. All those tools you have, you're going to be terrified. You're going to feel like this. You're going to feel like that. Now apply them again, right? Same tools, different situation, you know?
For sure. Yeah. You said it, you nailed it on the head, like the chaos. I will tell you this, and that's why I laughed probably very loud in everybody's ear, because prior to getting sober, I was called the chaos agent. And let me tell you, motherfucker, I was offended. Oh, I was offended. And it's interesting to me now, right, that I was so offended then because it was true. And there must have been a part of me that knew it was true. And I was not in a position to be in any way, shape, or form willing to accept that. So, and I love that, a chaos agent, because it's kind of true. And I think this falls into that, if you're listening, go back and look at, our one day at a time or one rough week, because I will tell you, we've talked about this too shall pass, right? And it wasn't just a matter about the bad times. It was a matter about the good times too. It's always about that change. It's always about evolving, and you've kind of summed it up. This could be like a 3-minute podcast because it was like, but I feel it just needs repeating. And so I'm just kind of repeating what you said, right? Is that I only have I have a finite amount of tools, right? Like the bag is not endless where it comes to these tools.
Right.
It's which one am I going to pick up? And I think that there's an adjustment period. This topic came from, again, somebody saying like, I feel like I hit a wall, blah, blah, blah. And it's really true. We don't know, when you hit your first wall, right? You don't know that it's just peace. You have no clue. It's like
that thing you've been fighting for. And when you get it, you're like, something's got to be wrong. I'm not freaking out.
Right. I'm not freaking out. There's nothing to learn, right? There's whatever. You're just in this holding period, right? Till the next thing, good or bad, comes along. Yeah. And so, and that's why we're talking about it, right? So that person or people who feel like they're just stagnant and, and it could be a long-term recovery. You know what I mean? You could have 20 years or 40 years and feel like you hit a wall, and you may know what peace looks like, but there's that disconnect, boy, that, something needs to be happening. Something needs to be going on, and God knows I've been in a position where still in recovery, when there's not enough going on, I'll start some shit, fuck around and find out. I'm going to do some stuff,
and how many times has that happened? Like Yeah, I have done it so many times where I've created chaos because I don't know how to sit with self.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so these walls that I think I'm hitting, it's just the peace, it's just the serenity. And
Right.
that's okay. Like, I just have to be in a constant state of willing, right? Like, sit back and enjoy it, but always be willing to acknowledge the next hurdle that might be coming, right? When I have that thing, it's not like, oh, okay, go ahead and go out drinking because
Right.
you hit perfection. It is like, just enjoy it, right? Like,
Because it's going to
because it's
change.
not lasting.
Right.
It's not lasting. And then your ass is on fire and you're like, oh my God, I forgot all the tools and I need them right now. And what are they? And that shit totally happened. So if
It
it's a
is.
wall, it may be peace and serenity. Just good
Yeah.
luck to you,
Good
which is
luck.
the goal of recovery, at least
Right.
for me,
Yeah.
right? Like, I've reached the goal. I get a little glimpse that it's possible, but also, I was thinking about it and I've been in positions in recovery where I feel as though I've hit a wall and I've just needed to change some shit up.
Sure.
You know, whether I need to add some sort of therapy or I need to change who I'm hanging around with or who I'm calling, who I'm connecting with. Sometimes you just need to connect with different people because they bring out a different perspective
Sure.
too.
Right.
Like, sometimes you just got to mix it up. I know if you're going to programs, like going to different meetings and going to different, there's a lot of seminars out there and stuff and workshops and stuff like that too. Like, if you feel like you're not learning as much as you should be, then by all means, read different books, go to different workshops, see a therapist,
Expand your horizons, right?
connect with different people too,
Yeah.
because that could also be, a reason that you feel as though you've hit a wall, because we do outgrow things. We do constantly need to be replanted and, all that stuff. Like, that's absolutely something,
Yeah. And it also bears mentioning, hitting that wall in complacency, and that's where that thing about changing things up comes in, like you just said. There could be people who don't even feel that they've hit a wall and they're just complacent in what they're doing. And it's always about growing, and in my opinion, it's always about expanding. And what more can I know, and how can I be better, and then share that with you too, right? Like,
right?
that's where it comes down to.
Yeah.
So yeah, good deal. That was a quickie.
You're welcome.
That was a quickie. People are
All
going to
right,
be happy with this on a Friday afternoon.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, notify, do all the things, and keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
That's all for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification button so you know when new posts are coming up. Keep coming back.